he said, listen, don't worry, you can speak maybe Hindi or you can speak English, but it's just easy, just come, just do. Firstly, when I was approached for the film, it was a great honor. I love Hyderabad cinema, and I think it's the future of a lot of Indian, Bombay actors, I think, would be lucky and excited to be in a big Hyderabad movie.
Sure.
And I was very lucky to get this offer, but I was worried about this thing. And then you said, just turn up, it's going to be an easy experience, don't worry about anything. He gave me the most passionate narration. Yeah. Normally my attention can wander if it's not a great narration, I start feeling a little sleepy also, you know, I said rather read. But it was a spellbinding narration, very emotional. And, you know, we were shooting a film in Amritsar. And you must have said, you know, get Saif or something for this role. Yeah, obviously, you must have thought
it was a mutual choice.
What
for me, I could never, somewhere when we wanted this character called Bhaira, so as Saif sir mentioned, see, we don't have names for different clans here. So it is one big hill where everybody is living. So the characters, I mean, like, there's no a particular name for a village as such. So there's like, वो north village वाला है, ये south village वाला है, ये west का village वाला है, और ये east village वाले हैं. So, but it was just that. So when we were designing the characters, I think both of us really felt that, you know, who is as powerful as Devara? For Bhaira. So Bhaira needs that kind of a cutout. So for some strange reason, both of us were looking at each other, and I really love Saif sir in Omkara, and I really felt that, you know, there is this intensity in him. I mean, though yes, he really has a funny side of him, which tends to dominate. Look at him now.
All the nice things.
But there is so much intensity in Saif sir, I think, that hasn't been captured in movies.
Yeah.
In most of the movies.
Yes, I also personally feel that.
Yeah. Yes. So, I mean, like, we needed that intensity.
Yeah.
And both of us were like, you know what, I think we should just go approach Saif sir.
So I said, well, how will I do it? You said, don't worry, just turn up. There's a nice big AC set and it's all this water stuff. And I've got these machines and you just sit there and chill and it's going to be a blast. And you know, he was absolutely right. I came there, and language. So I said, first day, I had to say these lines to this lady who was playing this part, and I was being cued some dialogues, and I said, I'll try and get, and the sweat started running down my back, and I felt kind of a thrill that I hadn't felt for a long time. I felt I'm working in even though it's our country and it's another language, but that diverse, it was like a new thing for me. I felt I'm speaking a new, and I was panicking because I thought maybe I won't do it properly, or I roughly understood what I'm saying. I tried to remember the...
You remember any line?
I knew you'd ask me this. But if you repeat, I'll repeat. No. But I prepared it, and I did one or two lines, and then they were okay in the beginning, the first line. He said, you won't have to speak much. It'll be one line, second line. But after a few days, he got pretty impressed with how I was doing it. I got used to the language. Like, you get used to anything after a while if you practice enough. And it's not... that difficult also. And then after a while he said, okay, now do a page. And then suddenly the dialogue started getting longer. And I said, he promised me it'd be one or two lines. And then the assistant would come in the van and say, sir, a dialogue. And I'd say, okay, what? And then he'd go on. And I said, that's 2 pages. And he said, no, you can do it now. Yeah. So it's true, we did it.
Yes, sir.
And he would watch very carefully the lip, and he said, it's quite perfect. And the greatest thing is my co-star or the lead who's standing with me, who also concentrated and helped, because a lot of actors, you know, it could have been distracting. But how you have performed really well, despite the fact that I'm, you know, I'm speaking a language where people are cueing me, and I'm, you know, doing that. So it's a patch together, but it works.
It worked.
I feel like, especially on this set with Shiva sir, his approach with me was similar to the way that he approached your character. He was so relaxed. And I used to stalk him. If you see our chat, it's just me day after day. Sir, please, can I get the scene? Sir, how will I do it? Sir, please send the dialogues. And he was just like, just relax, just come on set. And I think his ease, and of course, sir's encouragement, just made me feel like, okay, I don't suck. I think I'm doing okay. And
you should actually ask her this question about how she manifested this.
Yeah.
And that's still a surprise.
Yeah, I saw some...
I was like, how? I was like, Janhvi, please tell me how to manifest. If I really have to manifest something, how do I do it? How do I manifest that Devara needs to be a super blockbuster hit?
Just say it in every interview ever. Wake up in the morning, look at yourself in the mirror and say Devara is going to be a huge hit and everyone's going to be blown away.
Yeah,
I've
that's it.
started
Is that
already.
simple?
I think so.
Is it that simple?
It worked out for me.
I got information. I don't know whether it's a real information or a rumor. Should I ask you, or based on that, it's okay?
Are you going to ask me or
The
him
camera is
or
still
her or
running.
him?
Yeah.
Everybody-
Every you
everyone.
and sir and yeah. I heard this one huge underwater sequence,
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
which has come out really, really good. And
Yeah. It's
that's a
an
Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
I
Oh, yeah,
heard you
absolutely.
made a separate pool for it in Hyderabad.
Yes.
A huge one.
Till then, we had one option of shooting it in Kapoli, because that was one of the biggest pools we had to shoot in Kapoli. And then, for some strange reason, we decided to overspend on that movie and create a pool in the studio which we were shooting for predominantly our action sequences. And it was a massive pool, because we really had we shot for close to about 35 odd days underwater. Underwater, over the water, underwater, over the water. That's a phenomenal episode which I think will really
So that's a
really-
lengthy sequence then.
It
30
is.
days.
It is one of the most key sequences of Devara.
Okay.
And again, because we're speaking about a world which is near the coastal, which is in the coastal regions of India. So we really had a lot of water elements, shoot on water, shoot in water. So we had these big diggers which came in and created
Wave
artificial
machines,
waves. We had
amazing
wave
looking
machines.
stuff.
Yeah. We had motors fixed into the water to give it the small ripples.
In the pool.
So there was a pool and there was a water tank as well. So we had a 200 by 150 water tank. So it was very high on, as I said, high on action. There are certain action sequences of Devara which will really, which will just sweep you off your feet when you're.
So you're getting killed in the first part, or you go to the second?
No, that's another thing, I heard, no, but I heard, when I heard his story, it was great. There's a young look, there's an old look, and there's all this, exciting action and stuff, and I thought it all sounds great. And then they were shooting, and then, the story developed, and I heard from Shiva sir that, listen, there's a change of plan now, and we're doing it in 2 parts, and in the second part, your character development is very exciting. This is what happens, and I don't want to maybe give that away, but it's a wonderful thing. So he's not dead.
That's good.
No,
yeah.
he's rocking.
Yeah. Can we ask this, like, you both are friends, or
That's a lot of revealing.
relatives?
I think
That's
it's
a lot of revealing.
We are kind of like also, and
That's
like
still a lot of
relationship.
revealing, sir. I think we should
okay,
not.
nothing.
I think we should
Fine. Nothing.
Yeah, they belong to
But
That's still
there's
a
a
lot of revealing.
relationship. There's a strong relationship.
Yeah. There is a very strong relationship. So
ट्रेलर में तो समझ में आएगा होगा ना, मतलब when we see the trailer we'll get to know, I think.
yes.
उसमें भी hide कर रहे हो, थोड़ा छोड़ रहे हो, sir?
They both are
No, I think
friends,
there's no point in hiding it. We are like
Yeah.
we're like a few days away from release.
Okay. So you're playing wife, like girlfriend. What's happening?
That's a complicated answer. Yeah,
It's
it's
complicated
complicated.
with the
In my head, in my
status.
character's head, I feel like she oscillates from, oh, we're married and we have kids and everything's perfect, to like, I hate him.
Yeah.
So it's a wide spectrum. It's a complicated answer.
It's a very normal
So
relationship.
finally-
Yes, I guess so. I guess so.
Nice. Well done, Shivaji.
It's a nice one. But finally मिलता है कि नहीं मिलता?
सिर्फ पूरा
नहीं, फिलहाल मिलना
storyline ही
चाहिए
पूछ रहे हैं।
ना। So उनको ही मिलेगा।
मिलना
उनको
चाहिए।
अगर मिलना चाहिए
क्या
तो
मिलता
वो I think
I'm like,
मुझे
ये
भी
मिल रहा है या
part
नहीं
two
मिल
में
रहा है?
पता चलेगा।
Is the hero मिल रहा है या नहीं मिल रहा? तो it's like हाँ तो
तो मिलना पार्ट 1 में हो रहा है कि पार्ट 2 में हो रहा है? मतलब ज्यादा हो जाएगा?
मुझे खुद
Yeah.
शायद पार्ट 2 में ही पता चलेगा।
Oh,
मुझे अब तक पता नहीं।
okay. Nice.
See, in a world of bees, how to place a girl. See,
Okay.
very tough to write Janhvi's character actually. It's easy to write Devara and Bhaira for me. In this world, I have to place Thangam, but she pulled it.
no, she was fabulous, as I mentioned before.
Yeah.
I just can't wait for her character to unveil in part 2, where
The women are too strong in the film. Not men.
Actually, the
Bhaira
general
sounds
audience
like
are
someone who
waiting.
doesn't listen much.
I hope
Yes.
What,
Names,
sir?
Bhaira sounds like someone who doesn't listen much. Like,
That's Behra.
That's better.
That's Behra.
That's the feeling of the
Yeah,
same.
I never like.
No, just
Behra is a brave guy.
phonetically.
I mean,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that what it means?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like sir, like because of the Sridevi Garu's fan following, the general audience also, not only his fans, there's a curiosity in the audience to see them together.
Yes.
In the Telugu audience, that
'Cause there's
actually-
a connection also.
yeah. So
There was this photo shoot, which a look test.
Yeah.
Such with when Shiva first time, even before we started the movie, there was a look test. So and there was this picture of hers which we released, obviously, long back, and she was sitting on a boat and looking into the camera. The moment Shiva showed me, I was like, oh my God, she
Yeah.
just looks like Sridevi Garu.
yeah.
I mean, she's. I mean, in certain angles, she just. I mean, looks like her. So we've tried to capture a bit of that also on camera, but and I don't think it's something you can capture in angles. I think it's the way she performs, or sometimes the way she just smiles. It just brings that reminiscence of Sridevi Garu back.
It's weird for me to say this, but I feel that more when I perform and speak in Telugu. I don't know if that makes sense.
Probably.
It just felt more like home to me.
Yes.
Got that, yeah.
What is the runtime of part 1 and what is the runtime of part 2, if at all you want to reveal
I
it?
mean, let's not even talk about part 2.
Okay. Part 1
We still
runtime.
don't know what the runtime will be, but 250. It's a decent runtime. It's about 250, 2 hour 55,
Okay.
2 hour 50. I mean, if you see, I really don't understand this runtime. Confuses me a lot, sir. See, the actual runtime of a film is less.
See, Sandeep asking about that.
I mean, you should not actually. I mean, how long was Animal, sir? 3:15.
3 hour 24.
Okay.
But actually,
So
it's
you're basically your eligibility of asking runtime has
Yeah.
been taken away from you. Sir. You're not eligible to ask about runtimes.
No, I'm happy if films are bigger.
Shorter?
No, bigger because yeah.
But big cinematic films are
always,
running
yeah,
long now.
yeah.
It's also it's become
And
people
that
are.
too with this many strong characters in the
Yeah,
film.
that's what, yeah.
I mean, you want to narrate. When you want to narrate,
Now, if you're going
Might
for
as well.
part 2, I always feel it could be 3 hours. Then only 3 hours. Then only you'll
So
feel
we are
like going-
almost touching 3 hours, but we're not touching 3 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we might be somewhere a little lesser than 3 hours.
Yeah.
Songs
3 hours is good, sir,
action.
because you'll not lose any show.
We've cracked and water is the toughest,
True. That's
especially when you have interactions with
what,
it.
yeah.
So it's
You know, the light, the water simulations, the light penetrating into the water.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's not physically challenging, it's
mentally also brutal.
Yeah.
And Randy sir, I think Ratnavelu.
Yeah.
I mean, Ratnavelu was really an asset for this movie. His cinematography is just.
I have to also weigh in there and say he was such a pleasure to work with.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think we got along really well, and some of the lighting and the
yes,
close-ups he's taken of
phenomenal.
my character.
Phenomenal.
I don't think it was so nice to be shot.
He did
like
not
that.
take the liberty of just brightening everything up because it's.
He's killed it.
It's
I
a
used to say
commercial.
he's like
It's
an
an action
Italian
movie, no.
Yeah.
Renaissance painter.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
you keep on
his
telling.
light and shadow and the way he's
Yeah.
like an artist.
Yes,
I mean,
And Sabu sir.
too good.
Oh, Sabu sir was.
Sabu sir is like quite a senior.
I mean, the kind of
person.
technology he knows
He's
is
actually.
the
But I
boats,
saw
the way
him
the
touching
boats.
up
Yeah.
I mean, the boats we
blood on the
created for
guy's
this
back.
movie.
Exactly.
You can literally not only see. Of course, we shot in tanks. I mean, like man-made tanks. The boats were made, but the boats you can actually take
Use
them
it.
use it into
Wow.
the actual sea.
can-
You can actually go into
sea
deep waters.
waters.
Yeah. So your interaction with water will be great, that means.
Yeah, so it's like
Yeah.
going to school for me. So learning a lot from Sabu sir. So when I told the story, see, he was telling, we'll create our own waves. I'll make boats, he's saying. So I was scared. How can you make a boat? All the stars on the boats. I don't know how those boats will be. No, I'll make boats are simple, he's saying.
They were great,
Sir,
the
they need to
boats.
float, sir.
They were massive. Like they weighed a lot also. Like original boats. You know, that 35 days of underwater shoot is by far very complicated, and the kind of stuff we've done. So there is this shark creation which we've done, and there's this mad interaction between the protagonist and the shark.
Oh, nice.
That was very, very, very tough to pull off.
Top of it, the movement is not easy under the water. It's again another challenge.
And the work and the problem is, Sandeep sir, only when you have those swimming goggles can you actually have a visual.
See,
But
yeah.
when you
True,
don't
true,
have
true.
that,
Yeah.
everything is blur.
Yeah. And
So
it
for
will-
me, let's say there's this guy who's 10 feet away from me. So I'll have to swim literally, catch hold of him, do like a flip, and then go out. So this whole shot is like about, let's say, about 15 to 18 seconds.
Yeah. It will take entire day maybe.
So this shot, I mean, like when I'm going towards him, I can't see him. I'll have to exactly hold him,
Yeah.
at his neck.
I know.
So it was.
Obviously, the way we
Very,
see
very,
as an
very
audience, you will not see while approaching. because there
Absolutely
is no-
not,
yeah, true,
absolutely
true.
not.
Yeah.
Because your work environment has been amazing. I mean, little care taken. We did a fight sequence where there was so much dust because of the
Oh, damn,
arena
yeah.
that we'd put up. But someone put a big exhaust in.
Exactly, yeah.
So things like that make a little difference. I'd like to see more of that happening.
Devara too.
No, just generally because
I'm done with dust.
your sets were one
I'm done
of
with dust.
the best controlled on a human level. For even the staff.
Yeah, even on a discipline level, like I've never been on a set with as many extras as there were on this set in Goa and even in the Aida Puja sequence. So usually when you're shooting a song or this thing and you have so many people on set, there's always noise and chaos and there's always the first AD screaming, "Okay, quiet, we're going for a take." There was just peace
Yeah.
on this set. Everyone was so disciplined.
That's an achievement, sir, actually.
And
To have that a quiet set. Sir, how about the BGM? How excited you guys are about the BGM?
I'm always
I mean, I think
Anirudh's
the world
BGM.
knows what Anirudh is capable of, and
Yeah.
today I think it's not south or north.